Hello, guys, and welcome to Hacking the Gaming Industry, the pillars to set your way in. I am Tony Munoz, and if you are watching this, it's probably because you're trying to figure out how to get into the gaming industry, how to start your path, but beyond that, also because you want to build a successful path in the gaming industry. And you want to know what you need in order to do that, to finding job opportunities in the short term, but also to finding your independence in the mid and long term. I am Tony Munoz. I've been coding since the late 80s, and it has been an interesting adventure. But the first time I wrote a single line of code, my imagination goes in the direction of creating video games all the time. I started a career and moved forward a lot of years after that, graduated in electronics, get back to coding, creating my own successful company, not related to video games, and eventually in 2013, I moved to Canada. It's a different place where I used to where I was used to live. And in that moment, because I was recreating myself, I decided, why I don't follow my old dream of creating video games? And in the process, I got to tell you, the first 3 years were catastrophic. They were horrible, but I learned a lot. And that experience and the others that I collected through these years is helping me build the independence that I'm doing at this moment, that I'm creating at this moment. And it is not, I discovered that it's not just me. It is I'm following the path that many are being creating for themselves, that they are showing how they are building a successful, independent, structured career for the future to sustain their families, to not having to work for anybody else. And this is what I'm going to share with you today. Let's start with the beginning. The reality for aspiring creators. Full-time job commitment. How many times have you heard that? And probably some of you are familiar with the idea that, well, you need to commit to your job because it pays the bills, it sustains your family. You are not able to just drop everything, risk everything that you've been building for years and say, yeah, I'm going full time for video game development. On the other side, you have a limited time for your side projects. Many institutions that teach you how to create video games, they offer you, well, you have to stay with us 40 hours a week or 30 hours a week or 20 hours a week, finishing the projects, staying for 1, 2, 3, 4 years to do that is something that is not possible. Even if you have the funding to do it, it's something that won't compile with your life. Then you have that element that is inside you, which is balancing passion and responsibilities. Yeah, responsibilities, family, you have to pay the bills, etc. But there is something different in all of us that requires to the help is calling us to create something, to build something from nothing, be inspired by others, but doing something that has a value for us, that giving us a reason, that giving us a why. And this is the path related to video games. It's not even one project, it's the path of learning how to create video games that eventually will become a release, projects that people will enjoy. That is a personal search. And it's probably happened to you if you're watching this video at this moment. If you want to contact me, if you've been watching my YouTube channel, if you've been for the last months or years trying to figure out, oh my God, I would really want to do this, but I don't know how to do it. You are in that personal search, and I understand it because I was there once, many years ago. Now, let's talk about the core problem, strategy, not content. And I'm going to differentiate this. On one side, we have abundant technical resources. You can go to Udemy, Coursera, internet in general. You can use AI today. You can take YouTube and discover tutorials. And the problem is not the abundant content to create video games. The resources are there, and there are many. The problem that we have is that we are missing a clear path into the industry because you can collect a lot of technical information, but that won't transform you into a successful video game developer. What will transform you is that you have a path that you can follow. That on one side tells you what is the things that you have to learn and in what order, but on the other side is how you're going to present that, how you're going to let the world know what you're doing. Now, this thing is about a strategic approach, not just skills. One thing that I always share with my mentees in the Game Creator Accelerator mentorship is that you have to balance two elements. What is the technical skills that you are going to learn to create the products that you want to build, the ideal projects that you want to build, not the crappy project, the good, interesting projects that I know you all have in your imagination. But on the other side, you need to find a way to present it, to show people what are you doing as time goes by. Common myths that I want to debunk today. The first one is you need a formal degree. Well, I think the best example it's me. I don't have any degrees in gaming, in game development or game design. I have a degree in electronics, but nothing related, even not with programming. It was electronics. Yeah, I did some programming, but it was not programming. It was not computing science. But I found a way to learn what I wanted because it was a deep passion inside of me. I need to express myself. It's not about playing video games. Don't get me wrong. I love playing video games. But if you put on the balance playing video games or creating video games, I'm always going to go for creating video games because the experience is much better. It's like an actor that loves watch movies, but they prefer to act. And there are there are two different things that you need to differentiate. And thinking that you love to play video games, that doesn't mean that you like to develop or design video games. You need a formal degree? Definitely not. I never found a job in the gaming industry where I applied to. They all came to me and they all knew that I didn't have a degree in game development. You must be a coding expert. This is an interesting one because I've been following great people that I admire in the industry today, that they are building a great successful business model for creating their own games and their studios, individuals. And what they usually say is that they are not brilliant genius creating code, but they understand the matrix of the code, how to solve the problems, the challenges that they confront one step at a time. And what you need is that methodology, is to figure it out once you understand the tool is what is the next step, what is the next thing that I have to solve. And these people understood that and they say, okay, now I have the matrix. I know how to stop bullets. And now I can create any video game that I want. I just have to put one step after another. Being a coding expert, not needed. Being creative and knowing the methodology of what to do afterwards, absolutely. And even more important, well, in the same level of importance, is to share what you are creating. Don't share until it is perfect. How many times you confront the situation with yourself where you say, yeah, somebody told me that, yeah, I have to share this, but I don't feel that it's good enough to share it. I don't feel ready to share it. The reality, guys, is that you are never going to feel ready for anything. I can tell you when I moved to Canada, you never felt ready. You just have to do it. You have to move forward. The same thing is when you start sharing. There is a game that I love, which is called Valheim, which was originally started by Richard Svensson. And when you watch the first demos of Valheim, they were confusing for the people. It was, what the heck is this? But he kept the consistency. He continued showing how he was progressing. By the way, he was creating this game after office hours. And eventually he built a small studio of 10 people, I think no more than 10 people, with a super successful video game that is not yet officially released. Another example is Marcus Persson, the creator of Minecraft. He always he was always in contact with the gamers, showing what he was doing. Some occasions he released different versions of the game in just one day because he was always listening to the community and the suggestions and making adjustments, fixing things. Don't share until it's perfect. Definitely no. Share when it is imperfect. For studios, for AAA studios, yeah, probably they have to do it when it is perfect and they screw things up many times. But you're different. You have to think yourself in a different way, in a different business model. Show what you're doing and start building a community. It is all about contacts and who you know. Well, you can go to any conference in the world, important conference on video game, and you can share cards and shake hands and know people, and that's fantastic. But nothing is going to happen. These people is not going to hire you because they shake your hands, because you know somebody that knows somebody. It is because they see your progress. They've seen where you were January of the any X year and where you are on December of another year. And they can see that progress. They can connect the links that show how you've been consistent creating something. No, I'm not talking about garbage small projects that makes no sense, that they just generate links on the portfolio, but they are not good enough. I'm talking about a real progress in a project that matters to you. And that takes us to the next element, which is you don't need a portfolio. Do you really need a portfolio? Yeah, I mean, it's not going to hurt you. But I never found a job in the industry because I submit an application for studios. All the jobs in the industry I found, and I'm talking about from independent studios to AAA budget, were because they were in contact with me through a headhunters or they contacted me directly. And they say, I like what you're doing, let's have a chat. And that opened opportunities for me. It is not about the links in the portfolio. In fact, the first games that I created were mobile games that were removed from the App Store because, well, they were too old for the operating system, and I decided I'm not going to waste my time trying to upgrade it for the new operating system. I prefer to move to my next project. One reason why I don't recommend creating mobile games, by the way. It was because I started sharing what I was doing, even incomplete, and they start paying attention to my progress and they say, I want to talk with this person. And you can bet that many AAA studios will love to have great talents in the ranks that belongs to small studios or there are independent studios that are successful today. Of course, they don't want to work for another studio, but I know that they will add value to a AAA studio. Why learning skills alone don't equal progress? This is an interesting element. If you get a lot of courses online, Udemy, Coursera, whatever you want to take, this is a process of passive consumption because you're following the things that this person is creating, even if it's my own courses, because it is nothing that belongs to you. Lack of practical application. You are not doing something that will be your project. You are not transforming that into something that you can show to the world, a tangible project that belongs to you. You don't want to just repost on LinkedIn things of others and saying, oh, I love this. You want to show what are you doing? What are you creating? But that you collect just technical skills that do not transform into a project of your own. into a progress of your own. You're only following the paths of the instructor, of the person that is telling you, okay, this works this way, this works this way. And here we are creating a game that is part of the course, it's not yours. So it is important that you understand that skills, technical skills, is not going to be a transformation for you in terms of a place in the gaming industry. And that transformation is an individual path that you need to follow. You will get there, but you need to follow what I'm going to show you in a moment. When we are talking about the Game Creator Accelerator, and all the time that I share my content on the YouTube and with my mentees directly, I always talk about two essential pillars. The first pillar is create, build a tangible progress. What I mean about that is you don't have to finish a video game. You need to start creating a very complex video game. And I'm sorry, bear with me just a second. I don't think that creating crappy video games that you're going to add to your portfolio, and let's say that you have 5 crappy video games, is going to say to headhunters or a person that is working on a AAA studio, oh, I like to hire this man or this woman. No, what they want is to watch that you're trying to create something that is very complex and you are finding challenges that you are solving. And they want to see that progress. They want to see how you confront those challenges and how you solve those challenges. Let's say that you want to create an open world third-person adventure video game. Excellent idea. Many will tell you, no, don't do that. I'll tell you, yes, go for it. Understand the basics of the tool, but as soon as you have the basics, go for the big project. Don't go for the small one, go for the big one because that adds value to you. It is more, it gives you more value and presence and community and connections if you have a project that you've been working for, let's say a year, and you can show the progress with the videos that you create and the things that you are sharing week after week or bi-weekly or monthly, then having 5 projects on your portfolio, linked to your portfolio, and when you open the portfolio, you see, oh, this is a game I will never love to play. Be honest with you. Be really honest with you. You need to build a tangible progress. Crappy projects is not a tangible progress. And it's not going to help you when you are going to submit applications, which I don't recommend. The way to get into the gaming industry, if you want to have a job, is to show what you're doing. Again, I never found a job in the gaming industry that I applied to. All came to me. And I'm talking about from independent studios to AAA budget. And all in the middle. But it was because I wasn't sharing a final project done, because I was sharing my progress, the things that I was doing, the things I was working on, the challenges I was confronting. And then the headhunters say, oh, I want to talk with this person. Or the owner of the studio, oh, I want to talk with Tony. Let me see who's this guy. And the tool that I use to make these connections usually is LinkedIn. I'm going to talk about that in a second. The other essential pillar, and what I mean essential is that it has to be 50-50 of your time, is share. Every time you complete a simple gameplay mechanic for your video game, share that achievement. Share what you're doing. Start building public presence. People that at the beginning will be confused as those that probably watched the first version of Valheim and they weren't sure. But then that people start making a link with you, with the things that you are creating. And then they start watching not just one video, but 2 videos, 3 videos, see the progress. You can even reach to your peers. People that also want to create the kind of video games that you are creating, and you can be an inspiration for them. You can reach to headhunters, recruiters that are looking for, yeah, I need to find a programmer in real for third person adventure. That's perfect. And there you are, and you can show what you know and what you maybe don't yet. But that is more important for a studio that a certification. A certification is just a title, but what you're showing is a proof of what you're capable of, and you are showing it. That's a reality. A certification can be good for an accountant. I can't imagine a more boring job as that an accountant. Sorry, I have good friends that are accountants, but that job will kill me. But you can do that job with a certification. You get the certifications and you can find a job on that. In the gaming industry, and I'll dare to say in the entertainment industry, rules are different. You need to show what you're doing, small, but that show that you are growing step by step. That's the key. And the balance between these two pillars are what you have to do. You have to create, you have to learn, and on the other side, you have to share consistently, weekly by weekly. No matter how bad at this moment your project is, believe me, it will be better. This is like a gym. If you go to the gym one day, nothing's going to happen. 1 week, probably nothing's going to happen. But if you go consistently, the result will be at the end. It's 100% of the cases. The result will be at the end. And like the gym, this is exactly the same principles. This follow exactly the same principles. But what you have to keep is that consistency. Great games don't just consume tutorials. Tutorials are a starting point. You can find tutorials from my YouTube channel, Udemy, Coursera. Yeah, that's great. But you need to start building something for you, something that feels you, and something that has a community that will connect with you. What is that? That is a question that you need to answer. Yes, you will need tutorials to solve problems. Probably you're going to use AI today to solve problems as well. I recommend it. But you have to answer the question of what is the game you want to create. Build original games with mechanics. It's not just about building the final game, it's about building mechanics that feels good. Then when you share your game with your community to test it, they give you a great feedback, that they give you great suggestions to improve your video game. Make it original, make it yours, with your own characters, with your own world. Don't think small. This is very important. Don't think small. I don't believe in creating small games to finding jobs and grow your career. I don't believe in that. Try to do things that are big, that requires a lot, that will take you months and years. But understand that the goal is not finishing the game. The goal is that every day you're going to be better than yesterday. Literally. Every day you're going to take a time to learn something new, to solve a new challenge. And that is going to make you better than yesterday. If you feel that one day you are not better than yesterday, then you are stuck. But if you are working on something that is a challenge for you and you haven't figured it out yet, that is the path. That is exactly what makes us move forward as developers and creators. But don't think small. Do a 3D video games. Do 3D video games. My favorite are third person, in particular third person shooters. Those are games that people want to play, adventure games, first person as well. Do something different and try to figure out how to make it special. Have the conversations with you, with ChatGPT, with whatever. but don't think small. Because people that think small, guys, I'm going to put this example from my own experience. I love 2D pixel art video games. I love the style of pixel art. My favorite style in 2D is pixel art. And I prototyped this video game called Last Soul. And it was super well received by the community. It is a demo on Steam that you can play. But I never found supporting from investors. And the argument that they said was hard for me, but I got it, which is we want to invest in 3D video games because that is where the big communities are. That is where the big business are. It broke my heart in a way, but I understood and I say, yeah, honestly, I also want to learn that. And today you have the tools to do it. Do not think small. You can go big. Support yourself with AI tools. I mentioned this before. There are tools that are integrated today with AI, but ChatGPT is a fantastic tool to start experimenting, even for starting the design of your game, and to present an idea to ChatGPT, to have this conversation and ask ChatGPT, once you have the sketch of your idea, then say, ChatGPT, help me to build this with a great experience, but ask me question. Ask ChatGPT to ask you questions about what exactly you want to create, because that is in your mind, and your mind is gold. How you can translate that into a design for a video game that then will become a plan for your development. Unreal Engine, a professional tool. And yeah, I know there is a lot of people that will not agree with me on this. I'm going to tell you something. I don't know any person, any peer in the gaming industry that moves to Unreal after testing other tools, and then that person decided, I don't like Unreal very much. I'll go back. That person doesn't exist. When you start working with Unreal, it's like you are in the Matrix. Now you can stop bullets. And I'm going to tell you some elements about Unreal. First is the industry standard used by top studios. You can use Godot if you want to create something for you that is easy. It is a great tool, don't get me wrong, but it's not for professional, it's for hobbyists. So if you want to create games and you still don't know if this is what you want to do, yeah, go Godot all the time. But if you want to be professional, this is the tool that you want to use. And through my career in video games, I've used Xcode, not recommended at all. I use Unity, fantastic tool. But when I test Unreal, by the way, a recommendation from one of my peers, I remember he told me, you like Unity, I think you should try Unreal. And I was like, I'm not sure about that. I feel very comfortable with Unity. But then I dared to try Unreal. Man, everything changed for the best. Yes, what they say about Unreal is true, referring to it is difficult to get it at the beginning, but once you have it, you can't stop bullets. Powerful for rapid prototype and iteration. Absolutely, not only with the libraries, but the way that it is structured helps you tons. And the fact that you can use visual scripting, which is called blueprints in Unreal, that you don't have to code things. You can literally create any video game in Unreal without writing a single line of code. It won't be the greatest performance at the end, but the reality is that you can do it. And there are developers out there like Gavin Eisenbis that created Chucho Charles, and he did it with a challenge of creating that video games only using blueprints in Unreal. And it's a successful game for an independent developer. And it helped him build a community, a huge community, people that are following. And now they continue the process of creating another game. And people wants to know what is the rest. What is Gavin doing afterwards? So you have the tools to do something with Unreal today. In the current version of Unreal, you also have AI tools integrated. So inside Unreal, you have a plugin that connects with the documentation and with everything, all the library that Unreal has, public or not public, for the people, and you can start using it to create any video games. And they will suggest you from the structure, the game design that will be the sketch for your video game, to the specific code. And then you can go deeper to trying to do more things. At this moment, I tested AI tools. The plugin in Unreal, I think, is great, though I think that at this moment, ChatGPT is better. But they already have the plugin integrated, and I know that that's going to grow. It is not only for video games. Unreal today can be used for architecture, VR, AR, automobilism. There's so many, film and media. There's so many other applications of Unreal besides video games. So opportunities for you in different areas can come from this same tool. Even modeling that originally was handled just by, well, at this moment, Blender and Maya, is something that Unreal is trying to get into. And I think, having played with both Maya and Blender, that Unreal is doing a great job. And I dare to say that in the future, they will love that people can create things also in Unreal. Their tools are evolving, and I think they're evolving in a great direction. Share progress. It's branding, not marketing. What is important is that you will focus on the process and the challenges. You are creating a branding out of yourself and your studio. It's not marketing in the strict sense of, okay, I am going to have a campaign and do things this way, and I'm going to use the advertisement and something like that. No, it's about consistency in the process of building a brand that every week is going to show something different, a progress of the game, of the tricks that you solve, of the tutorials you presented, of the things. Let's put it this way. Many people say that they don't want to share the games that they are creating because they fear that they be copied. Oh, for God's sake. You are already copying somebody else. We're all copying somebody else. That's the reality. You're not creating the first person shooter, or the first open world, or the first third person, or you're not. It adds more value to you for you to be open today, to build a community of people that will follow you and that will support you in the long term. Even if you give the code for free, then be concerned about, I don't want people to copy me, and I'm only going to release my game when it is ready, which is a bad strategy, by the way. Look at my case. I am creating right now a game named Mad Gameverse. It's a third-person shooter. I don't know when I'm going to have it ready, but every week I share a new step I achieve with the game that others can copy, that others can check, oh, I needed to solve this problem, and Tony have it for me. And they can follow the entire process, one week after another, and build their own games. Or they can follow until a certain point, and then they say, okay, at this point I want to do something different to Tony. But it adds more value for me to share that with you. Think about that. You right now are nobody. What if you started building that branding, building that presence? That is much more important than having even $1 million for one game that you are creating. I love this. I heard that if you give this kind of creators $1 million or 1 million fans, they will go for the fans all the time. And it makes sense because they know you. They will support whatever you're going to do. They are eager to know what is your next step. Think about that, how you can build that. Showcase problem solving skills. Yeah, when you show what are the problems that you confronted and how you solve it, you capture attention of studios that want to know how your brain works, how you solve issues, how you move forward. But also, at the same time, you are teaching that to other peers on your social media, and you are showing that as well to gamers, not developers, that want to know what is the challenges that you are confronting, and maybe they can give you a suggestion that will add value to your project and to you professionally and help you move forward. So showcase that. On the other part, in this building the branding process, you are going to leave an evolution testimony or a testimony of your evolution, which is people can watch the first video that you created, as I mentioned a moment ago, at the beginning of the year, and the last version and the last video you created at the same end of the year, and they can see that evolution. But that is a testimony that will last on YouTube forever. And it's something that is a proof of what you're capable of. And what is more interesting is that the next year you're going to continue doing the same thing and moving even forward. So imagine that testimony when time passes. And imagine how that is going to build an audience. Not only of recruiters and game developers, yeah, people that you're going to connect on LinkedIn, that's great. But the audience on YouTube that will help you eventually to become an independent creator, an independent developer, and to focus all your time in just showing that, having the pleasure that I have to say I have today, which is helping other people to achieve also that path, to build something special for you. That is great. It's a great feeling. And when you start receiving comments, likes, more people that subscribe, it is going to help you. It's like a fresh air to help you continuing. Haters will hate. Don't worry about that. But the majority, if you keep your consistency and create great things, they're going to be there behind you, supporting you. Watch your transformation and inspiration to continue. That is part of the branding. You're going to transform yourself because you're going to be better. But as you are going to become better, the branding is going to grow. It is the two things at the same time. And the fantastic element is that this will inspire you too. It's not a project that you have in the future that you say, okay, when I release the project, it's going to be fantastic. No, it is because you transform yourself day after day to be a better developer. And when you share it and people likes it and comment it and start following you and sharing, this is expanding. Then it's like a fresh air. It's inspiration for you. Leveraging platforms, key social medias. I talked about this a second ago, but let's go deeper. The first social media, and the most important of all, is YouTube. No discussion. You have visibility and portfolio showcase. You can share devlogs and tutorials and invite audience to connect with you. This is the platform that you will use to expand in millions your presence. Well, the beginning is going to be just a couple of tens, but that it is a potential, it has a huge potential. Consider that YouTube is one of the most, if not the most important platform that every person watch day after day. There's no subscription service better than YouTube. So the audience is huge. Imagine that you can build a presence that helps you reach that audience. It's not only going to be good for finding job opportunities, but it's going to be good for your independence in the mid and long term. So, what are you waiting to start sharing what you're doing today, even if it doesn't have the quality that you're looking for? The second platform is LinkedIn, but this is a professional platform. This, this is the place where you are going to make connection with peers, with studios, with recruiters. You're going to connect with the industry professionals. And yes, you have to invite people and make connections, or all if you want to find job opportunities. But it depends of what you are going to create on YouTube. Everything that you're going to present on YouTube, you have to move it or you have to repost it later on LinkedIn. The difference between these two is that YouTube, in time, will generate more views to whatever content you share. LinkedIn, the content will be piled to the bottom. But the important element about LinkedIn is related to job opportunities. Why? Well, because recruiters and studios, they will try to find you on LinkedIn. When you invite somebody to connect on LinkedIn, the first thing that person does is, even before accepting your request, is, who is this guy? And they will go to your profile on LinkedIn and they will see your story. Imagine if you are a studio, a big studio, looking for a game developer, and two people invite you to connect, and you watch the story of these people, and one has a certification as a game developer of a very important institution. It took you 4 years, and that's it. There's nothing on their story for the last 6 months, only that, oh yeah, I got my certification. On the other side, there is another guy that doesn't have a certification, but for the last 6 months, week by week, is being sharing a progress of a big project that person is creating. And now, after 6 months, that person can show something that looks pretty cool. It is a proof of what that person is capable. And that's when LinkedIn is a fantastic platform. Now, if you balance these two platforms, guys, the sky is the limit. Do it. Start with YouTube and repost on LinkedIn and have the chats with all these different audience. In LinkedIn, make more connections, invite people. On YouTube, create great content to build your audience. LinkedIn will help you find jobs. YouTube will help you with the mid to long-term independence in the gaming industry. Making it work with limited time. That's important because, as I told you at the beginning, how can you do this if you have a job from 9 to 5? Focus on a game for a good audience. As I told you, do not create a 2D platformer. Create games for the big audience. Those are 3D video games. From that, explore any direction that you want. It can be first person, third person. It can be top down, whatever. But start from something that has a huge audience. Not only an audience that will build your eventual game, but also the audience related to studios that are creating that kind of video games. The majority are those style, and they need people that knows how to create those video games. So focus on a game for a good audience. Of course, a game that you love. Start with one mechanic to complete. That's the key. Move one mechanic at a time. Your goal is the next mechanic, and then the next one, and then the next one, even though you don't know how to implement the mechanic. That's part of the fun process. You have to research, you have to figure it out how to do it. But today, guys, you have great tools to achieve that. But focus on one mechanic to complete. Then share that achievement on social media. You achieve it, it is done. Now present it on YouTube, show what you did, and then repost it on LinkedIn. That is a consistent work. It is, I would say, from my perspective, because I work alone in my process, well, I have to say that the editing process is not my favorite part, but I learned a lot. And as I progress as well as my skills in Unreal, I also progress my skills and the tools that I can use to make the work of editing faster. But you need to share every achievement on social media. The perfect the perfect level for me is once a week, weekly, share something. It doesn't have to be a 20 minutes video. It can be 5 minutes video, 3, 5, 8 minutes video. A devlog, something that start showing people what are you doing, and something that helps you establish a communication for them to give suggestions, give you ideas about the things that they can do. Time. Set a time considering your availability. I don't know what is your availability, but aim for 1 hour per day. And you would say, oh, Tony, I'm not going to do anything 1 hour per day. No, if you dedicate just 1 hour, one day. Like Kobe Bryant once mentioned that it is not the job that you do today, it's how you consistently doing the job day after day that is going to differentiate you from the rest. And 1 hour can looks like, okay, this is not good enough. Yeah, but 5 hours a week will. 20 a month will. And now imagine that compounding in time. And the challenges that you have for the first hour are totally different to the challenges that you confront later on because you have more knowledge. You're faster. You will figure out things easier. But you are consistently growing. You are consistently doing a transformation for yourself. You need to take that hour. And that hour is totally possible. Short-term wins, long-term vision. Short-term, you're going to find job opportunities. You're going to start your fan base, people that will help you build what will be your brand in the future. And the other is that an immediate transformation. Let's put it this way, guys. If you don't know how to open Unreal today, and tomorrow you know how to use the interface, that is a transformation already. Now imagine that you can add another small transformation to that. And it's one after another day. That is the short term. And you can start achieving it today. And then you have the long term. The long term is your independence. And I guess this is what every game developer at the end wants, which is, yeah, I want to be independent. Because even if you are lucky enough to be part of a AAA studio that pays you well, eventually you're going to be out of the job for any reason. They finish the project and they don't need you. They cancel the project, which usually happens because the funding was cut. Any reason. And you will be part of massive layoffs. And it's not fun to be part of massive layoffs. I can tell you with experience on that. And the other element of the long term is that you will growing monthly income. You will create a growing monthly income business model. It will start with the followers, with the people that are increasing in time, the likes, the comments, but eventually that can transform into a Kickstarter for a project that you have. That can transform into tutorials that you are presenting. They can transform too many ways of income related to how you are specialized in one area. But the good thing, and I can tell you this in my experience as well, is that month by month, it will be growing. And that is a fantastic feeling. How we can help you? Well, the way to help you is, for me, how I work with my mentees is through the Game Creator Accelerator Lifetime Mentorship. This is a program where I work directly with you. First, to figuring out where are you at this moment, what do you want to achieve, building the knowledge, and then building a path, a growing path. How we're going to do that? Well, the first thing is you're going to learn the fundamentals of Unreal. This is the most important tool. This is the only tool that we use in the Game Creator Accelerator. And during the first stage, I'm sorry, and during the first stage, we're going to focus on the fundamentals, on understanding how Unreal works. You need to feel comfortable with Unreal. That's the first step. Then we're also going to find and show you how you can grow your dev skills, because fundamentals are not everything. These are the fundamentals. Now you can use the tool, you can create AIs, NPCs, you can create mechanics, you can create, I don't know, shooting or some kind of effects. But then you're going to create something bigger. You don't have the knowledge yet, but we are going to provide you with the tools and with this companionship that helps you go in the right direction to find the path in the growing career that you're going to put in front of you. If it's going to be a third-person shooter, open world, fantastic. We're going to figure it out together, and I'm going to be at your side. We're going to prepare your social medias, focusing in particular with YouTube and LinkedIn, but also in creating your own space, your own webpage. All these elements are covered in the process of working with me in the mentorship. I'm going to guide you step by step how to set up your different social medias. We're going to work together one-on-one, tuning these social medias. It's not just me tossing information, it's me working with you. We're going to work together. Yes, guys, it's not just a course online. We are going to work together. And then we're going to make a lot of tuning while staying with you. Because one of the biggest problems of the educational system today is that once you pay them and they give you the certification, well, good luck, dude. In this case, I'm going to be with you. And eventually, you will find your own path. Believe me, you will find your own path. And nothing will make me happier than that. But it's your path, it's not my path. I'm just going to help you find the way that you're looking for. That is my role. I'm going to guide you. I'm going to tell you, no, don't go that way. Go this way. This is you're doing is not correct. Try this one. That is part of what we'll do together. Final thoughts about this. Yeah, the path is challenging, but it's conquerable. Now you have the tools. And the reality of the market is that every year, even though people complain a lot about the gaming industry, every year is collecting more billions in revenues than basically the previous year. It was just a small down after COVID. Makes sense? But the estimations are huge in terms of billions of year for the end of this decade. So what is going to be your role? What are you going to do with your life? Are you continue doing the job that you don't like? Or are you going to start building the dream that you always want to create? Start creating and sharing this week. Test Unreal. Watch my tutorials. See where you can start. Take a course on Udemy. I have courses on Udemy as well. Take the courses, see what is the experience of playing with Unreal. Discover yourself in that world. But share. As soon as you learn something, share it. You can say at the beginning, well, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I will continue doing it because I love this process of discovering the tool. Eventually, you will define what is the game that you want to create, what is the direction that you want to take. And then you will tell that to your community and they start connecting with you. And finally, keep in mind that this is a unique journey. And that unique journey is your strength. What you've been doing all your life that maybe you don't like, all the things that are building you to this point makes you special and inspirational for many people around the world. What is your journey? Make it part of that process. Make the challenges that you're confronting part of that process, and people will connect with you and people will support that path. I want to express my thanks because we get to the end of this presentation. I hope that it represents for you a new way of, a new perspective of watching these things and figuring out how you can move forward. Now you have the tools. But if you want to chat with me one-on-one, if you want to learn more about the lifetime mentorship of the Game Creator Accelerator, you can write me at tony@william.com. You can visit william.com, or you can join, well, or no, I recommend you to join the YouTube channel, Tony Munoz Dev. And until next time, keep creating, keep sharing, and most importantly, keep dreaming big. I'll see you soon, my fellow creators.